Don cleaned Ruby this morning because we can't have her show up at service dirty. Right. Those boys wouldn't know what to think if Ruby showed up dirty. Thank you, Donnie.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Ruby. Boy, you got everything. They even did the inside of the door jams.
Yeah, well, I just
I tell you, this is service. I am spoiled. I am ruined for life, Donnie. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, pretty good. Yeah, that way she looks pretty good. Plus, we're going to go, hopefully, gallivanting tomorrow.
That's right. Well, we did finally get the storm last night, but it was like really close to 9 o'clock. I think they worried us to death. That's what I think, the news media and the Storm Prediction Center. I mean, I appreciate the warning, but the every 10 minutes we might get a wind gust that could bring down a tree was just, after a while, not helpful. There were some trees down in the area. We probably had 20 or 30,000 people in the state that lost their power. Thankfully, any concerns that it would be, all right already with the noise. Any concerns that it would be super bad, though, didn't pan out, which is great. It's 42 out there this morning, so it's a 30-degree difference from yesterday morning. They were correct on that. So Johnny was reading me an article from Jalopnik this morning, where Top Gear tested the Porsche Taycan against the Raven Model S and declared the Porsche quicker. And that may have not been the thing to say to me first thing in the morning. My Tesla pride came out. But you know what? It's really good that these guys are both striving to one up the other, because it's just better for the consumer, at least the EV performance enthusiast consumer. I read an article on Electric last night where Elon said, don't worry, I'm going to make a software update. I'm going to release something. The Model S will be faster. I wasn't worried.
Well, what they also said is that the Model S they tested was more luxurious, had longer range, and had more cargo space than the Taycan.
Right. So anyway, that's all great stuff. I guess I'm a little surprised they would say the Model S was more luxurious. I think it is, but I understand different folks are looking for different, features in their interior. So the minimalist or the not minimalist, they're both great cars. It's just going to be interesting. I mean, this is going to continue to be in the news, and it can only be good for the consumer that there's some competition now. The sunrise is not looking exceptional this morning, so I'm not headed up on top of the parking deck. I'm going to drive over to Tesla in a minute. Over here to my left is where I usually park, here in the church parking lot. You'll see there's some close shrubs, trees. They kind of thinned them out yesterday to put more parking over there by the white buildings, by the apartments, townhomes, whatever those are, rental property. And I'm glad they did that in the winter and not in the spring, because a lot of birds nested in those shrubs over there. But I guess if they had taken out one more here in the front, that might have improved my morning view. Yeah, even though the view is better from this spot, I can't reach the big cement cat Pokestop here. It's a few feet too far away. Well, Tesla has a very full house today. They told me probably not coming home today, Ruby. This car's got about 26,000 miles on it. Blue Blizzard. I like it. Well, there's the yellow lines of I'm a cold car and I may not want to give you full regen right now. I pulled over here behind the delivery area at Tesla, and just went over the controls for the car. I turned creep on. Girls gotta have creep mode. So I think I'm ready to drive to the house. I've got the interior warmed up a little bit, because she'd been sitting outside overnight. They, you know, set my expectations that I probably won't have Ruby back today, which I was not taking for granted that I would, so that wasn't unexpected. You know, our only concern with dropping her off really is that they would find something else that we didn't already know about. I don't think so, because Dawn looked her over. The guys from the electric garage looked her over. She's been driving pretty good all week. But we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to drive on back to the house now. This car has 2019.32.12.2 and does have autopilot controls. I'm not sure how newish this car is, if it's AP1 or AP2, but there is autopilot stuff in the control tab. So yeah, so I'm going to take her on down the toll road back to the house, enjoy that nice wide open early morning sunshiny drive. Can you tell I'm happy to be in an S for a day or two? Yeah, I won't have any complaints about driving P85 Model S. As tempting as that wide open stretch of road is in front of me here, there's a dead end behind me. Like I said, I'm at the very back of Westgate. This battery's not warm, and I'm gonna take it easy on her. I will be doing a little dusting when I get to the house, just a little bit. The lane markings here on the toll road have given Blue Blizzard a little bit of trouble. She went back and forth in the lane back there a little bit. You can see the blue lane marking line going away. I mean, this is not there, it's totally gone right there. This road has been repainted, but it's painted, but it's bright this morning. I don't know. She had a little wobble in the lane back there that kind of took me by surprise, I think would be fair to say. You can see right now, yeah, see, she's doing it again. She lost track. She's over the line. She doesn't know where the lane is. So I would say she is not performing as well on autopilot as Ruby would. Doing okay. I don't know why she's lost the lane. I mean, she's mostly keeping me where I need to be, but not totally. So I pulled over in the Walmart Holly Springs parking lot and I rebooted both the scroll wheel and the driver dash, I don't know, the buttons, and I can't re-engage autopilot. It just doesn't see the lanes. I have traffic aware cruise control if I want it. Every once in a while it'll see a little partial, and the road markings here are good. I mean, this is even less confusing than the toll road. The markings are pretty clear. But if I try to engage autopilot, it says it's temporarily unavailable, so I don't know. I don't believe I got put in timeout back there or anything. Hey there, Donnie.
Hey there, you sporty looking thing.
You know, them handed me another Model S. It just gets you in trouble.
Yeah, I know. I knew I was going to catch it.
I know. I told Aaron again. I said if I could talk Don into a Model S, I would have already done it. Yeah, I like it.
I know.
I like it.
I'm knowing that you're liking it. It's a pretty car.
It is very pretty. Very pretty. You probably can't see it, but Dawn can see some fuzziness inside the autopilot housing.
It's like a thumbprint on the inside.
On the inside somehow.
Yes, on the inside.
And it won't come off, so that may have had something to do with why the camera couldn't see the road markings in a perfectly normal, good road marking.
It's probably fine as long as it's not facing the sun, but what happens is if the sun hits that spot, it could basically kind of turn everything white. Now, I mean, the sun's bad enough, but that spot there could fluoresce.
Yep, I can see that now. So this is AP1. Right when I got in the car, well, you know, I approached the car from the back. I didn't see nose cone or not from the front, but yeah, it's AP1. But I bet the camera just can't see good out the glass if I had to guess.
Yeah, very possible.
Oops, I may have been shining on Blue Blizzard a little longer than I was supposed to. Don says I can't be late in a P85D though. It's another gorgeous afternoon, but it's only 59 degrees out there. Feels okay in the sun. Wouldn't want to be in the shade in a short sleeve shirt for too long though. It's been a reasonably fast trip into town. It's 2:13 p.m. so I will make it across town in decent time to pick up Johnny. Haven't heard anything back from Tesla about Ruby, and we just got Taekwondo tonight for Johnny. 5:10 we gotta leave to head back to Fuquay to get him to his 5:30 class. I don't know what's going on in downtown right now, but there's a lot of extra foot traffic, pedestrian traffic, and it's basically making it impossible to go up to city center right now. I'm just kind of stuck here, so much for making good time. Obviously it's some costume themed something down here. We got some exhaust in the car. Got Johnny with me now, and boy am I missing bioweapon defense mode, because I don't have a quick way to evacuate the exhaust back out of the car. Had I thought about it, I would put it on recircle air, but that's not helpful once you've already got the smell in the car. I've got plenty of range to finish my day, but I had noticed this morning that Blue Blizzard didn't have a ton of range when I picked her up. I think it was 120 or 140, something like that. And yeah, Johnny just noticed I went down to Orange 50 miles. But we just got to go home and go back to Taekwondo. It's fine. I pulled up here at the library. Johnny had a book reserved. He went in and picked it up. No problem finding the reserved books?
No problem at all. And they have self-checkouts.
Oh.
And they aren't bad like Harris Teeter.
Good. Johnny noticed that Dawn has the new sink installed. Yeah, I think I'll plug her in while we're home. Why not? Yeah, Dawn says I can charge for 90 minutes until 5 p.m. So that'll give me a little cushion. You know, I might need to floor it when I go back out later. So I gotta have a little bit of playroom in the battery. Yeah, Blue Blizzard's looking mighty fine in the garage. I'm missing Ruby though, to be honest with you. But I am having fun with this one. This is what working on a sink looks like. I figure y'all will appreciate the final product if I let you see the work in progress.
Right, I bought a branch tail piece instead of a sink tail piece, so it's like I have to reuse the old one. I cleaned it up with parts cleaner, so it was all gunky and greasy from the old sealer that they put on there, but that cleaned it up really nice.
Cool. So Don's busy. I'm sure he wished he'd have gotten a little farther before the tornado that is me and Johnny came back home from the school run. Wow, just look at all of those leaves. And the season's not even cranking good yet. I think Don said I added 75 miles or something like that. He came out and unplugged Blue Blizzard just a minute ago. It's 5:10 now and we wanted to unplug her at 4:55. I'm back up to 80 miles, so that's plenty, more than I need. I thought I would check out what I thought about the heated steering wheel, and I have to say I like it just fine. The hippo Pokemon, I don't know exactly the name of it, but it looks like a hippopotamus. It's over at Falcon Park, and you know what? My accounts don't have that Pokemon. I think maybe Photomom does, but the other three don't, so let's hope I can get over there safely without speeding through downtown and get that Pokemon. So Johnny plugged her in for me, and I changed the percentage up to 90, and I set the time for 8:30 when we'll be off peak. I did have an update from Tesla around 5 p.m. The shroud around the condenser fan and radiator is tore up pretty bad, and that part's going to need to be replaced. That makes sense based on, I think, the noise we were hearing when the air conditioner compressor was going on and off. And they're going to tear it down a little bit more on Monday and make sure there's nothing else. So I guess I don't want to freak out about that. You know, an additional shroud part doesn't sound horrible to me. I'll just stay calm and let them, you know, work on her some more. Do what they need to do.
She's all hooked up, except not the reverse osmosis, but the new sink is totally installed. Drain's hooked up, high pressure, so I'm going to put this under there to catch the leaks.
Surely, Dottie, there will be. So the cat litter came in good use for something?
Yeah, the cat litter is a pretty good weight. That's right.
They're not all full. They're like half full,
Right.
half full, half full.
No.
Somehow.
I only had to carry in every cat litter thing in the
I'm just saying that's not 40 pounds or 50 pounds there. That's probably only 30 pounds.
I'm turning on very
You're
slow.
turning on the water?
That's the cold water. I don't see any gushing yet. Alright, here's the hot water. Don't hear any gushing yet. Because trust me, I ain't no plumber.
But you are really smart. And you are really careful about what you do. So that makes up for...
Right, a few things.
Not to mention the fact that you have had to fix some stuff over the years.
Alright, so are we ready?
Yep. Yay! Woohoo!
Well, it's like you have to check the drain. Right now, I don't see no water dripping out from down here yet.
Way cool. Right, you'll see water on the paper for sure.
Because I got water in the bottom of the thing. Alright, so here we go.
Even has a strobe, huh? Don don't mess around with his headlamps.
Alright, here we go. Full sink of water.
Oh, I see a drop.
Oh, don't say that.
One drop.
Well, one's too many.
I think that's a drop.
Yep.
But only one.
Well, that ain't no good.
Uh-oh, two.
Two.
I want to eat dinner. I'm hungry.
Well, I didn't have that. I mean, you know, this is just hand tight.
Right. Well, I was going to say, Donnie, I think it technically leaked a drop or two before. So if it's still leaking a drop or two, will it be in the same shape as we were? Well, I'm liking it, Donnie. It's pretty darn cool. It'll be cooler tomorrow, minus the, you know, decorations. But
JB told me to put the silicone and then weight it down. And put the clamps, find the high spots and put the clamps. The clamps were a pain in the butt, but I did figure out a process that makes them a little easier to do. But anyway.
Well, I'm liking it on. And my button, I can stop the water.
Yeah.
I can stop and start it without having to turn it on and off.
Yeah, it's got a pause button.
Yeah, and then this is pretty handy, and I can, you know, move it around pretty good to clean the sink. Well, the top part, yeah, I hit it by accident.
Yeah, and you can pull the nozzle
right,
out.
yep, you can.
Right,
sure can.
Yeah.
I really like that'll be cleaning gunk out of the bottom of the sink much nicer.
Right.
All right, so why didn't it go all the way back?
Because it's hitting the hoses. I've got to, the weight is, of course, the way our spigots are down there. The weight
so
gets
underneath down there, it's not retracting quite all the way.
Right,
You gotta adjust. You gotta adjust it.
I gotta adjust.
Okay.
Right. There it goes. Oh, and of course the floor right here in that shiny spot, it's very slick. Somehow or another, I got some silicone down there. And so it's like made that floor like really slick.
Ice skating time in the Miller house.
Yeah, got to be careful. Don't want to be wearing just socks.
You know you've hit redneck status when you have a sink out in the middle of your backyard. Now you know Don's not going to leave that there. We hadn't talked about what we're going to do with it, but I presume maybe take it to Habitat Restore. There's one in Fuquay. That would be a good place to donate it, because there's technically nothing wrong with the sink.